Namaste, friends. This is Elle with Sacred Union Tarot, and I am going to do another Spiritual Sapience reading. This is our spiritual guidance for today. Of course, I'm going to use the Rumi deck for the Oracle cards and the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. And thank you for your comments about these little daily wisdom segments. After I do the Spiritual Sapience, I always do a reading, and sometimes they connect. But what I have found recently is the same cards are coming out during the Spiritual Sapience. So we are definitely in kind of like an energy where things are just slowly moving forward, but they are not like giant leaps and bounds. With the same cards coming out, with the same messages, we're still learning a lesson, and we're in this cycle. So the cycle has not ended just yet. It looks like we're getting close to a new cycle coming in. But this last cycle is just kind of lingering, and so there's something that we're yet to learn, or there needs to be, I feel like, kind of like a divine masculine catch-up. It's like the Spirit is giving them time to kind of catch up. And it feels as though the Divine Feminines are in it's like they're at the next level, and they're just kind of focusing on themselves. They've detached a lot from the Divine Masculine. A lot of Divine Feminines have created a real positive energy in their life, a lot of abundance. And here are the two decks. And it feels as though they are happy and satisfied with their current life. And so it's almost like she's just kind of enjoying the splendor of her abundance and really focusing on her own divine lessons, her divine growth, her divine connection. And it's like she's just taken the focus off the Divine Masculine. And he's kind of feeling that, but there needs to be kind of like a pause so that he can learn some lessons in order to climb up to that next level, or to ascend to the next level. And the Divine Feminine's not really waiting now. She's just like, hey, cool, you know, if you get here, you get here. If you don't, I'm really kind of cool in my own little place. Kind of like the Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Cups energy. That's where the Divine Feminine is in her Empress energy. She's in that Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, independent, just loving life the way she's created it kind of energy. Where the Divine Masculine feels to me like he's just entering the page phase. Like he's trying to really elevate, but he still has some really spiritual growth lessons to learn. So let's get started. Of course, I do a little bit of reading with these, and I just read what pops out. But let's see what happens. I did see the Commitment card and another card, and I forgot what it's called, but I'll recognize it. But that wasn't it. Cosmic Heart, number 8. Cosmic Heart, or our Spiritual Sapience lesson for today. I was dead, I became alive. I was tears, I became laughter. The power of love arrived and made me everlasting power. I have seen everything, I have no fear, I have the heart of a lion. I shine like Venus. That almost reminds me of the Strength card. And this is almost like love came in and transmuted all of those lower vibrational energies. There is a time on the journey of love when the beloved, that would be you and me, sweet soul, is prepared to engage more completely with the heart of the divine lover. The preparation will be a rich process, spiritually speaking. It may also feel like being beaten, pummeled, simmered, stirred in the pot of divine master chef, to become a sacred and savory meal fit for the most heavenly of feast. This is a courageous and bold process, one that will create the most delicious aromas of the soul. And yet it is one that will likely take us right to the places we would rather avoid, places of confrontation, of pain, Where there was a loss and a grip on your being no longer lets us quake and retreat from life in fear or uncertainty. Let's see, this oracle comes with special guidance for you. More love is rushing toward you like a great cosmic tsunami. You will struggle with this blessing to the extent that you will attempt to hold on to what has been. So don't let go. Let it move you. You'll perhaps get some water up your nose, but nothing will come to you that you cannot handle. So there will be a big rush of some sort of divine love. It could be divine love from your counterpart in the form of energetic love. It could be divine love from people who have passed on, and it could be divine love from your angels, guides, spirit, you know, all of the divine beings that are sheltering you and keeping you safe and giving you guidance. So I always forget if I shuffle these. So I'm going to shuffle anyway, because I do a pre-shuffle and sometimes I just don't remember. And I did see the 9 of Moons stayed on the table when I went to pre-shuffle. And let's see what this one is. Ooh, this is the King of Suns again. The King of Suns, which is the King of Wands. Wanted to stay on the table, so he wanted to come out. I'm not sure where he wants to go. We're going to set him right here. We'll talk about that in a minute. So let's pull the 3 cards. Bottom card first. This is the Lady. This, I believe, is the Queen of Suns. So we have the King and Queen of Suns. There's that divine love. King and Queen of Wands. Although they're not facing each other, and I don't know why. So we have the Queen and King of Wands. I'm going to take a card for each on the other side. What about the King of Wands? The Magician. Major Arcana. Manifesting, creating, but can also be a little on the, you know, old shell game side of, you know, sleight of hand. So feels like he's kind of being prompted. He's in an uncomfortable position, and he's being prompted by the divine to pull himself off of that pedestal, get himself out of his ego, and be more on the same level as the divine feminine, who has, of course, ascended. But in order to offer this cosmic heart, to have this love rushing in, he has to get out of his ego. That's what's next for him. Here we have Temperance. Here we have the 14 card with the 14. The 14s have been coming out. So she's in her state of balance, the divine feminine. She's in her state of balance. But the masculine is in a state of ego. And I'll read these in just a second, but I'm going to pull the last card. And this card came out in the last one. This is the Two of Stars. Here we have balance again. I do believe both of these cards came out, and this card came out in the last reading. So please check the reading from yesterday. But this is generosity, balance, being in that place of, sorry if you can hear the mower. These two need to be more balanced for this cosmic heart, this cosmic divine love to come in. And there's not a balance with the pedestal here. Bottom of the deck is the 7 of Moons. Moons being cups. So there's some choices to be made. Let's go ahead and do just a little quick reading on the King and Queen of Sons. The Lady of Sons. Born into the world to a furtive concubine, at 2 she is raised high thanks to the sad news. The Queen or Lady of Sons is a powerful leader, a striking-looking person who may have a strong theatrical aspect. If you encounter her, you may find yourself being carried along on her ride of energy, her knowledge, and her business. She may also touch your heart with wonder. So she's been kind of, she's not been taken care of well by the Divine Masculine through his ego. The leader will guide the everlasting people far from their native sky to foreign tongues and customs. The Prince of Sons is a dazzling figure, a teacher and visionary capable of inspiring everyone who encounters him. In a reading, he often stands for the spiritual elder or one who guides or guards the seeker on their journey. As such, he can be overly fierce and determined in his advocacy, and his leadership sometimes provokes unexpected reversals. Yet, at his most powerful, he can represent the drive of ambition and the intensity of achievement. So we have a couple here that is ready to take the next step into the next level. She's learned her lessons kind of the hard way by some of the, it's almost like she was not treated well by this king. However, the next phase, as he manifests himself to a higher level, he learns some lessons. He's the alchemist. He is the divine, he'll become a divine leader. Once he starts to walk that path and become that spiritual leader, they will then get into this balance. Remember what I was saying about how the Divine Feminine feels as though she's kind of gotten to that next level, and now she's content and in a pleasant place, really balanced. He's still alchemizing his spiritual lessons. But they will unite under this cosmic heart. I'm going to look up the 7 of Moons. The divine word will be stricken from the sky and will not be possible to go further forward. He has to make that choice. He can't go further forward until he alchemizes, number one, some of the treatment of the Divine Feminine. He has to go into his the depth of his heart so he can have some compassion for what he's put her through. And until he does, she's turned her back. Just like I was saying earlier, she's just kind of moved on, detached a little bit. And she's waiting for him to alchemize this, but he has to make that choice. She's in her place of balance. And in the 5D, there's balance between them. In the spiritual sense. But in the physical sense, he's still in his ego. And he needs to alchemize. But there is a fire lit under him by the universe. And he is on the scorched earth of that. You see how the earth is red, the tree is burned. He is getting prompted, pushed. He's in an uncomfortable situation, and he's experiencing in his heart of hearts all the pain he has caused the Divine Feminine. And she's just like, when, call me when you get there. Call me when you get to that level, because until then, we're not in alignment. We're not in balance. So he has to make some choices. And he's being offered the choice here. But he has to alchemize these lower vibrational energies of his ego into his spiritual self and get into this balance. The stars are swords, so can go no further. These two cards together. This can go no further until he alchemizes this energy. And then the love will come rushing in. She's already receiving a lot. This is almost like an Empress card if you see that she is pregnant here. So she's made it to her Empress level, even though she's a queen here. He's still putting himself on the pedestal. He's still thinking of himself first. And that's what he has to alchemize here. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.